In this video, we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So in this case, what we have is 2y minus 10 over y squared minus 4 times y squared plus 2y minus 8 over y minus 5. Now, with rational expressions, unlike number expressions, we do not and should not be multiplying straight across before we try to reduce. With numerical fractions, it is possible to multiply across and then reduce your numbers. But in this case, you do not want to do that. Your first step must be to factor all the numerators and denominators as far as you can, and then we're going to do what we call pre-reducing if you were to do this with numerical numbers. So simply put, I look at 2y minus 10 and I say, well, there's a GCF of 2. So that becomes 2 times y minus 5. The denominator of y squared minus 4 can be factored as difference of squares. So I end up with y plus 2 times y minus 2 times, now I take the numerator here, y plus 2y minus 8. So we're going to factor that into our two binomials. Start with our y squared. Two numbers who multiply to be 8, whose difference is 2. So we're going to take 4 times 2. And since it's a positive 2y, the 4 has to be positive. So that's factored. All over y minus 5. Now we need to reduce by finding all of our fractions of 1. So let's go ahead and start here with y minus 5. That can be reduced with y minus 5 over here. Y minus 2 can be reduced with y minus 2 here. So what I'm left with, I'm going to write down as my answer. So 2 times y plus 4 over y plus 2. Now whether I would distribute the 2 back through depends on what the directions say for your particular homework problem. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in this format, and that is the simplified version of that multiplication problem. Now let's take a look at another problem that includes division. So here we have three fractions being multiplied or divided together. We can see that up here we have x squared minus y squared over x squared minus 2xy plus y squared times x squared minus 6xy plus 5y squared over x squared plus xy minus 2y squared. But the third one is dividing. We're dividing by x squared minus 25y squared over x squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared. So the first two we can leave as is so that we can start our factoring. The third one, though, has to be flipped because when we are dividing fractions, we always take the second fraction and flip it to its reciprocal. So now the x squared minus 25y squared is on the bottom, and x squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared is on the top. So now, even though I have three fractions, and again, this is why you do not multiply straight across, never do that with rational expressions, you start with factoring all numerators and denominators. On this slide, I've gone ahead and factored all of the numerators and denominators. And so once you have everything factored, then we need to go through and we need to find all of our fractions of 1. So I'm going to start over here with an x minus y, can reduce with this x minus y. Could have done it to any of the other ones, but you just have to pick one. So I have, let's see if I keep going. I see an x minus 5y here, can reduce with this x minus 5y. I can see this x plus 2y with this x plus 2y. Here's another x minus y that could be replaced or reduced with that one. And now I have nothing else that can be replaced. So what I have left is simply going to be the product of x plus y and x plus 2y in the numerator. And in the denominator, the product of x plus 5y times x minus y. And so to write that out, I'm simply going to go through here and leave x plus y times x plus 2y over x minus y times x plus 5y. Again, whether you multiply those out will depend on the problem and what the expectation is.